considering the way your team played most of the night, a couple of deflections is what beat you. I mean, it has to be tough to take because they did what they were supposed to, it seemed, for most of the afternoon or evening there.
I agree. It was we needed to play that way. Especially after last game, but we needed to play that way, period. Tighter, defensively, paying attention to more structure that way. And then on the flip side, I just watched the 3 chances we had. Dowling with a great play with 1:10 left, point-blank opportunity, Peterka to Cousins, and then Peterka himself in the last 1:10. So, without compromising defensively, I felt we still generated enough to win a hockey game. And tough one.
Do you feel like they got back to playing fearless and kind of shed that tentative approach that sort of...
Yeah, I think we played less tight than we have the last few games. Don't know if we got to fearless yet. I think there's a whole other level or two for us, but we obviously have gone through phases and pushed, and the area that obvious need for us to push was buckle down and trust that the offense will come as a result. So better there. Sometimes when you push a defensive initiative, you lose scoring touch, and so we don't want to over push there. But these guys have to continue that. I think they will as a premise to make sure we defend well. But yeah, I don't think we're quite to fearless yet, but it was a good game.
It didn't start well. I mean, the first 10 minutes or so, there were turnovers and still puck issues, but what do you think changed where you guys found the game and really, kept it most of the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think that we just needed to get through the first few minutes to get into a rhythm. Fortunate. We had some very unfortunate bounces and situations in the game. It was good that we didn't have any at the first 5-10 minutes until we could get, breathe a little bit. I felt we could get, if we could get through that first, everybody get a couple shifts in. Any tension they brought forward from recent couple of games would be released, and they would get in the moment, and that was the case. That's how it seemed, and I'm sure it looked that way.
What do you like about Dylan being back with Jack and JJ?
Well, you can see when they're fresh, they go, and today they were going. They probably deserved to score a couple, and they were dynamic.
Lukanen's effort tonight was pretty outstanding. How did you feel about his comfort level in that?
He looked very comfortable in that, and again, I think we have 3 goalies, and we can talk about how challenging or difficult that is. We have 3 goalies, and those other 2 guys have helped and brought UPL along incredibly well, and the way so I think, and Upi's done a great job too. But when I think of Upi and his performance and how confident he is in the net, I think of the support he has of the other 2 guys and the coaching staff and Mike Bales really. Who works with those guys every day. And so to see him play with confidence, more confident than as Paul mentioned, our team might have been a little, felt our way into the game the first 10 minutes. Upi couldn't do that. I mean, he had to be ready at drop of the puck and not feel any, anxiety. And he was dialed in from the get-go. So he just played solid, very efficient, didn't have to play great. He was just big when he needed to be big. Unfortunate goal on the first one, deflected off us, and the last one, obviously, penalty kill.
What do you think about Tage and Jeff didn't have their best game probably Thursday? Just what do you think of their bounce back?
Well, I thought everybody's effort was good tonight, and the sense of objective was in the right place tonight, and Tage was good. I thought Greenway was real good with them again. Just adds an element that gives a little bit more room for them, and defensemen are looking over their shoulder a little bit, and they're starting to learn to take advantage of that. So
you had some very long forechecks going in that game, especially in the second period and the third. Is that just because of the support they were providing for each other to just keep it going?
It was. We had, we're best again, and part of being fresh is the continual motion, movement. All 5 guys moving, filling in for each other to pressure pucks. And when you have any hesitation and there's one chink in the chain there, we're challenged. So that was moving pretty good. There were a lot of handoffs, we'd call it, where you're handing off pressure to the next guy and you're filling his spot defensively. And that rotation was very, very on point, specifically in the second period, but pretty much through the game.